There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to SyFy Talk in the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the SyFy channel. I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 3 of season 1 of Krypton.
Oh my gosh, this was really good.
Yes, it was.
Why is Krypton so hard to tweet, though?
Yeah.
Because it really feels like it's going almost into like a movie-like thing, so it's hard to do this.
Right.
I loved it, but you have ratings for all sorts of things right now.
Yes, I do. Nielsen got its act together somehow.
Right, we don't get them for how long, and then you have a bounty for us.
Yes, episode 3 brought in a 0.29 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.955 million viewers, making it the 15th rated cable show for the day. In the Live Plus 3s, episode 2 tied for 19th in adults 18 to 49, going from a 0.4 to a 0.7 for an increase of 133%.
Nice.
And the Live Plus 7 days for episode 1 tied for 5th in adults 18 to 49 total gain, going from a 0.4 to a 0.9 for an increase of 0.5, which caused it to be tied for 10th in adults 18 to 49 percentage gain, increasing by 125%. It was 4th in viewers total gain, going from 1.321 to 2.914 million viewers.
That's huge.
For an increase of 1.593 million viewers. Damn. And that tied for 5th in adults percentage gain, increasing by 121%.
So it's getting a lot more people watching, of course.
Yeah, almost 3 million. That's awesome.
A lot of people, when it first came out, they were a little bit worried.
Right.
They're like, oh, what are they going to do? Is it going to be cheesy? And then as they've been hearing how well it's being played out, they're like, oh, okay, let me give this a shot. So I think these numbers are just going to go up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, let's talk about this episode 3, that did so well. The Rankless Initiative. During a military crackdown on Seg's home district, Seg and Adam Strange race to find a deadly sentry. So we start at the fortress, okay? We'll start there with Seg and Strange talking to Val-El, which is great because I think Strange was kind of like, hey, wait a second, I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
And actually it's like he forgets that he's dead later on, which is kind of fun.
Right, yeah, which is hilarious.
But they have the black probe that's sent out by Brainiac, and Val-El doesn't really have a lot of information, so they're trying to analyze it the best they can. They're like, well, it's organic material, we don't know anything about it. The only way we can really know is by opening it, and whatever's inside is like a parasite, and that's probably really bad, because it's going to take over whoever.
Yeah.
And this is what I said. Strange kind of forgets that Val's a hologram, because he hides behind him.
I did.
I loved it, because he turns around and he's like, you do know I'm a hologram, right? And he's like, oh, yeah.
Damn.
Because you wouldn't see it coming at you then.
That's right.
Maybe that's not the place to hide. But,
no.
But we also find out that when this parasite collects all its data, it transmits it to Brainiac. And that's when Brainiac makes its decision. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's he-like.
Right.
But he's also a giant, creepy, tentacle bug guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they do open it, and it's like, hey, okay, not too weird, because there's nothing inside. And
that's not good.
Right, but Adam's like, oh, okay. They're like, no, bad. And
It's
like
gotten
took
out.
a second. Yeah, it like took him a second. Like, oh crap, oh yeah. It's like, oh great, now we got to go find who may have found this thing.
Right.
And that's when we see a flashback. And Brainiac's ship is so freaking weird.
Oh, absolutely it is. Looks like a big cocoon.
With like a skull at the end. It kind of looks like Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
And it's like spitting out all these little planetary probes. It's like, oh, okay, so that's what happens. It's just kind of like pew pew. It's like he's spitting out seeds. And it's one happens to land on Krypton. Now,
after blowing through a tower.
Oh yeah, it's true. Now, if it had landed, well, where we seen it land, and there was nobody there collecting anything,
right?
Do you think anything would have happened?
No. It would have just been one of those that he would have said, write that planet off. There's nothing there. The probe didn't get discovered and never got back to me, so moving on.
Dang it. But that didn't happen, unfortunately.
No.
One of Seg's Rankless friends, the mother of little Ona, who was the one who had brought him that symbol of his house, which is like, oh man.
Yeah.
I, of course, am thinking the worst. I don't know about you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, when they automatically show the kid, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, not a kid, not again.
They're doing this to the kids. I can't do this. But we see her and her mom, I guess, in the tavern. It's like, oh,
yeah,
apparently
they're hanging out with Kim.
They let kids in here. Okay, you have a kid in a bar. But they're eating. I don't know what they're eating. It looks like, I don't know, a lizard or a big giant worm.
Right.
And I'm like, please don't tell me what that is. I don't even want to know.
No.
But we see Ona, who has a statue of Rao. And she's, kind of praying to him. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Because she believes and she's carrying this around. I was kind of hoping that somehow Rao was going to be there and be like, we are going to raise you up. I don't know why I wanted this to happen. I really don't. But I just felt like that would have been the best thing to do.
Right. Yeah. Somebody's going to needs to help that poor child.
Yeah. Just, I'm not liking where it's going.
Right. Yeah. We're kind of reliving Seg's childhood, aren't we?
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
And the weird food. But anyway. So Ram is the mom, like I said. And she's like, oh, I'm going to pay you back, Kim. And I have a new job that starts today. And he's like, she's never going to go hungry when she's here.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's great. And I didn't know if they'd said like they were related or it's just something that they're all kind of doing because they're friends. I was a little unclear on that. Did you catch anything? Like, were they possibly related?
It seemed to me like they were related, maybe cousins or something.
Okay. That's why I was like, I didn't know if they were supposed to have some kind of, family ties.
Yeah.
Or if he
got
just
the
grew
feeling
up kind
that
of
there
like
was some family ties there somewhere.
Okay.
Now, well, of course, when she said she's got a new glamorous job, she's starting that night. And it's like,
I, of course,
this is not good.
I was like, oh, man, do they have ladies of the evening?
Yeah. But no, it's worse.
Oh, yeah, apparently way worse there.
Yeah.
Because it's the salvage crew in the Outlands, like the Badlands, and people apparently lose their minds out there.
Right.
And I was like, this is messed up. Maybe it would have been better the other way.
Yeah.
And you've been in areas where it snows.
Yeah.
So this was kind of working my nerve. So they're out in the Badlands, and she's all suited up, and she's trying to use her scanner to get something, and it's not working. And her partner, he's like, oh, is this your first day? Yeah. He's like, listen, this is what you need to do. You only have to pass on info if you want to. It's whatever you're sending. But to talk, they kept taking their face masks off.
Right.
I'm like, it's snow. And
it's blowing like crazy. Yeah. It's got to be 40 below.
I'm just thinking, why do you keep uncovering your mouth?
Yeah. You learn to talk through the...
I have lived just outside of Chicago for my whole life. We get some craptastic winters. It gets really freaking cold. I don't take that off to talk to the person next to me. I'm not taking my scarf down. Hey, by the way, can you... No, you talk through it.
Yes.
It's not like it's a giant thing of bulletproof glass in front of your face. I don't know. Why is there always a one thing in every show, just one time, that just works my last nerve, and that was it?
Yeah.
And they better not do it anymore. Keep your face covered. Maybe had her face been covered, we wouldn't have had this problem.
Exactly.
Because she finds Brainiac's probe and takes the damn face mask down.
Right. And opens it up.
Oh, what is this? Okay, you know what? You need to stop. You need to stop doing that. You got to be smarter than that. You've survived with your kid for how long as a Rankless?
Right.
Don't do this crap. But,
yeah.
I mean, next thing we know, we see her trying to sell something or sell this thing that she finds.
Right.
And it's like, okay, maybe nothing happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you really can't tell at this point in time.
Right.
We have no idea. She got a couple of hundred whatever it is for it.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how the money is.
Right, but it wasn't as much as she wanted, but it was more than she had, so she took it.
There's always somebody scamming someone, right?
Right. So, of course, Seg heads over to the guild halls to see if the sentry was turned in. Like, that's going to take some doing to ask questions and not give anything away.
Right.
And, of course, meets up with Lita Zod. He yanks her aside and demands an answer to why she risked her life in a duel with her superior.
Well, this is how things work up here.
Yeah, if I wanted a promotion, that's the only way I'm going to get it.
And it's the only way to try to save the Rankless.
Yeah. So he immediately changes his tune and tells her that he needs her help to find this alien object before it gets into the wrong hands. It should have been into any hands,
right. But I think it actually would have been a whole lot worse and a lot faster if it did get turned in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we would have just been in a world of hurt real fast. And it probably would have been before they even figured out what happened.
Right. Of course, we check in with the Vexes, and Daron is assuring the voice of Rao that this aggressive new initiative against the Rankless will likely result in no more attempts on his life.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Although I guess I was wrong that the Rao is not Brainiac, so, okay.
Right. And of course, the voice is not convinced.
I'm not convinced either. I'm ready for him to go down. At this point, he's working my nerves.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically tells Daron that if this mission fails, you get to be the one to answer for it.
Couldn't have been a nicer guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so Rao decides to walk off for the voice of Rao.
Right, with his robed entourage. And what does Daron do immediately?
He needs a drink.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It's like all your plans and schemes.
Yeah, and this is just kind of standing there like, frickin' weakling.
Oh, yeah, she just looked disgusted with him.
Yeah.
Oh, but we have, over in the military guild, Jaina Zod running down the details of what's going to happen with Daron, Vex, in tow. And they seem to have somebody who is not quite on board.
Yeah.
That would be Miss Lita. They don't have an understanding of the leadership for Black Zero other than the name.
Right.
They weren't even sure if they had a correct face for some of them.
Exactly. Yeah, this was about as bad a setup as you could possibly have.
Yeah.
You really need to do your investigating before you jump into an action like this, which just means Daron is just more willing to jump without being prepared.
Right. And of course, when Jaina says, oh, well, everything seems to be in Sector 19, which was Seg's neighborhood.
Right.
Lita's like, are you sure this is the way to go? I mean, we don't really have information. This might make things go really bad.
Yeah, there's thousands of innocent civilians down there.
That you can totally push over to the side of Black Zero.
Right.
And, Daron. I'm telling you, this guy, I'm ready for his daughter to take him out at this point. I don't know if it's happening. Right. So, that's not a spoiler. I just feel like after his little quote here, he totally needs to be taken out.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, of course, he's like, well, the truth of their innocence demands a price. They should be handing over anybody they know. Otherwise, they're, all enemies of the state.
Right.
Like, Really?
Gum bag.
Yeah. I'm sitting there, I was like, really? Really? I was mad.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of see where a lot of the military attitude comes from him.
Yeah, because I guess in this case, trickle down is exactly what it is, because the higher ups are like, everybody below us is scum, and the people at the bottom are trying to rise up, and you have the ones who are just like, I just am trying to survive.
Right.
And so the hierarchy isn't working anywhere, is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It is not. So, of course, we see Strange roaming the alleys and corners of the Rankless marketplace trying to find the Sentry. And sure enough, he stops at the same junk dealer Rom did and finally discovers that the sphere is sitting on a shelf.
Yeah, how did he figure out that's what it was?
Basically because of the shape that was revealed when they opened the casing.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, I'm like, huh?
Yeah. And of course, the guy running the place wants, 10 times what he bought it for?
I was like, what is that? Like, talk about cheating people.
Yeah. And of course, Strange does a great sleight of hand, just going on about, oh, well, everybody in this marketplace has got this, and I can just go to the next guy and get it for half that price.
Because he says yours are fake.
Yeah. Gets him to turn around long enough for him to snag it and disappear.
Yeah. Nice running.
Yeah. Good thing he didn't run into a military officer.
Oh, right? That would have been great. Like, oh, well, now you're screwed.
Now we get to see Lita addressing her squad before deployment, and she takes a completely different approach than her superiors.
Yes. And I really liked her approach.
Oh, absolutely. She kept it without being sympathetic.
Or accusatory.
Absolutely. And still not demeaning the military whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was amazing speech that she had.
It was great.
And she says there will be no unauthorized firing of weapons or kills. No cracking of skulls.
Yes.
And no thinning of the herd.
Oh, man. When she's just like, yeah, severe disciplinary action. But when she stopped in front of the one girl, because that girl kind of sneered when she had said something earlier, she's like, very specifically, no thinning of the herd. Like, the girl then all of a sudden, like, straightened up. So I'm like, oh, she must have been one of the loudest ones. Like, all right, yeah, I get to kill me some Rankless.
Right.
I was not.
No doubt about it.
And, well, I was like, do we think Lita can pull this off? I was hoping.
Yeah, but for it being the first mission, I had my doubts that it was going to go as planned, or at least how she wanted it to go.
Right. And we kind of see that happen, but not right away.
Strange delivers the sentry to Seg at the tavern, and the pair strike off to the fortress, but the Sagittari arrive before they're able to get out of there, and they inform the citizens that they're about to be searched and scanned. So, of course, Seg gives Strange the sentry and tells him to get it to his grandfather.
So at least somebody's able to get out quick.
Right. And we see that, they don't really come in guns blazing, but it's still not a peaceful thing as we see several Rankless getting beat with clubs. And,
they came in kind of like Minority Report, like getting like tethered and brought down.
Right. Yeah. Coming down from the ships.
Like, okay. But I mean, when all this is happening, obviously there's like just craziness everywhere.
Right. And of course, the people are not happy about this, and some are starting to open their mouths, and that doesn't help the situation.
Right. But I mean, the way they're saying it is you're going to be relocated. It's like, oh, okay, You're just like going to up and move me. Can I at least get my stuff?
Right. And you don't blame them for that.
Right. And so, you can see people getting really agitated with all of it.
Right.
And then when Kem manages to find Rom and Ona, he's like, come on, let's go. Let's get to safety. We're fine. And he's trying to move them along, and Rom drops to the ground. And, like, all of a sudden, was it her arms? All of a sudden, it looked like these crazy giant, like, vines, like, growing across.
Yeah, it like, really was.
What?
It was like you had circuitry growing inside her.
Yeah.
That happened to be green.
I was like, what is happening? And Kem is looking at this like, holy crap. Holding on to Ona like, don't look. Just don't look, baby. Look away. Because, we don't know what's happening.
And, hell no.
And she definitely doesn't know what's happening to her mom. And next thing we know, a couple of Sagittari come up on them. And Rom opens her eyes, and we got that, like, possessed devil thing where it's all black.
Right. Black looked like there was just data just scrolling in her eyes.
Oh, I must not have noticed that.
Oh, crap.
I just seen the all black, and I'm like, it's creepy. It's like, we made it to Supernatural. What happened?
Yeah.
The demon. And, like, she just, like, tosses the one Sagittari, like, just a rag doll.
Yeah.
And then she injured another one or killed the second one?
At least injured.
Okay. And then she takes off, and seriously, Kem's just like, we need to go.
Yeah. Now.
And let me tell you, I just think it's funny that, and a lot of people actually mention this, he runs for his bar. Because, okay, that's his safe place.
Right.
But he's hiding the little girl with him behind a wall, and I'm saying that kind of in quotes, because it has a ton of holes in it.
Right. It was the bar.
Yeah. Everybody on Twitter was like, are they hiding behind a wall of holes? I mean, what is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, he must not have a back room that he can go hide in.
Yeah, maybe everything's just right out there in the open.
Yeah.
But, hey, we find out Val is able to check out the sentry back at the fortress. Which, apparently, in this time they've been gone, he's managed to, like, create a little force field so they didn't worry about the thing, like, jumping out. Like, oh, now you think about that.
Right.
Not when Adam was hiding behind a hologram, but whatever. But holy crap, there's nothing in there. Now what? That means it's out there. And they're trying to tell Sag, dude, it's out. I don't know what happened. And of course, Sag is like, all right, I need to find who's been infected. And he sees how things are getting out of control. And Lita, on the other hand, is trying to figure out what's going on and how she can control the Sagittari, who I'm guessing are getting a little, like, over the top with, like, yeah, let's do this like we were going to.
Yeah.
And as she's dealing with Seg kind of off on a side, we have a situation that escalated and really quickly. And you actually have the name, because I could not hear the name.
Yeah, Cole Da.
Who ended up shooting an unarmed, restrained man.
Right.
And was about to shoot a second one.
Yeah.
And that's when Lita comes up, and she's just like, what the hell?
Yeah. This was not what I said, and enough of the Rankless tell her that she was the one who shot him, even though she goes, no, it wasn't me.
Right.
And puts her under arrest.
Yeah, because then she's like, he was charging. I was fearing for my life. And this is what was interesting to me, because Lita's like, you, a Sagittari, the top of the military guild, were afraid of an unarmed, restrained old man.
Right.
And she just looked at her like, really?
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean, what do you do? What do you say? Because if you're supposed to be this ultimate kind of warrior,
right,
she just didn't even just knock you down. She just basically spit in your face with that.
Yeah. And
hey, they arrested her, which surprised me, because I honestly thought the other Sagittari were going to, like, turn on Lita.
Right.
Because this is how it played out, like, in my head. They're going to turn on her, and then all of the Rankless are going to turn on the Sagittari.
Right.
But that didn't happen. But
no, it didn't turn into a riot, thankfully.
Right, because it would have probably gone from bad to worse, which it was kind of working its way there as we speak anyway.
Yeah.
Because we have Rom changing. Oh my god. This was the weirdest thing to watch, and I loved the effects. I don't know if it was practical, like some of it was practical and the rest was CGI, but it was amazing.
It absolutely was.
Because you just see, like, stuff kind of coming out of her then. And it's like, oh my god, what is that? Is that wires?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It actually is wire.
It was so weird. And Seg finds out from Kem what's going on, and there's like, oh, great. And Kem's trying to tell him, I didn't know she was doing scavenger work.
Right.
And Kem was feeling responsible at this point, too, which you can totally see in his face and everything he's saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how do we save her? There's got to be a way. And of course, they're telling the daughter, no, it's fine. We'll figure this out. It's never a good sign.
No, never is.
So again, Seg ends up getting to Lita. How they keep finding each other in this massive humanity?
Well, they both find out that there's been a break-in at a communication terminal.
Okay.
And so, of course, Lita takes her troops there and Seg's on his way, and he's somehow manages to get her away from her troops long enough to talk to her about what is going on. And, oh, I need one of your electrostatic grenades.
Right. Here, just give me an EMP. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What?
Trust me.
That can only go so far.
Yeah.
But she does.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just had to take that moment to stop. It's like, do you trust him that much? Apparently she does. It surprised me. But when Seg manages to get into this room where Rom is like this crazy demon-eyed thing with cables just everywhere, I'm like, oh crap. And apparently she now has like telekinesis.
Yeah.
Because she is like beating the crap out of him and like strangling him without touching him because she's using all these wires and everything in the room.
Right. Which was slick.
It was good. It was. But we get like the explanation of Brainiac. Like, oh, Krypton has been deemed worthy. Krypton will be collected. I was like, no! This sounds so creepy.
Yeah.
And you kind of get like that flashback to Brainiac too, saying this.
Right.
It's like, oh god, that thing is so weird looking. But all the cables strangling Seg and he's trying to get through to Rom. And of all the things, not the, remember my parents, we were friends. He's finally like, you would do anything for your daughter. That's how you got here.
Right.
And I wasn't sure.
No, I wasn't sure it was going to get to her either, but there was just a split second of time, and that was enough.
Yeah, because Seg activates that grenade, and it knocks everything out in that area. But as this is happening outside, Lita's being told to move in, and she's basically telling her mom, it's not safe. I can't go in there. I need my Sagittari safe.
Right.
And so you have this back and forth. So I'm like, ooh, I feel like that's really not going to be good for her either.
Right. Yeah, she wanted to make sure her troops were safe before she entered, basically delaying so Seg could do what he needed to do and get the hell out of there,
right.
Which he did. But of course, Daron is there with her mom and he's just going absolutely ballistic.
Right. It's like, why is she not listening? Why is she not shooting everybody? What the heck? But when Seg gets out, he manages to take Rom, and Rom is kind of okay. But
well, she's alive. Yeah, she's alive.
Yeah. And it was interesting, though, when we go back to the guild, and you see Daron and Nissa watching the arrested Sagittari, Koldath, go past them. She kind of looked at them, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah. The mission to seek out Black Zero has failed. Horribly. The only thing that happens is they arrested one of their own.
But do you think she was, like, working with Daron separately? Like, he's like, go ahead and kill whoever? Because it just, that look that passed between them.
Yeah, there was that look, and I'm not really sure what it was. If it was an insider, one of his insiders, or if she was looking at him to get her out of this because they are like-minded. Mm-hmm. I kind of thought that might be it as well.
I don't know.
And we'll see if she actually gets prosecuted or not. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's not in a good headspace right now, shall we say.
No. And Nissa just, again, looks at him like, ugh, you're so weak.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, okay.
Yeah, she just biding her time, letting her dad take himself out of the way, and she'll take over.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful, because if he screws up enough, you might end up rankless.
Exactly.
Like, oh, you gotta be careful. Look what happened to Seg. You never know.
Yep. So inside the fortress, Rom is unconscious and barely alive. Val runs the medical scan, and they just don't understand why Brainiac is keeping her alive.
Right, because they find out whatever is inside of her is what's actually keeping her alive. Like the thing that they're trying to defeat.
Right.
Because otherwise she may be done for.
Yeah. And she already transmitted the information.
And Seg was like, I don't understand. I stopped her. He's like, well.
Not so much.
She's the transmitter. So
yeah.
The only way, well, actually I don't even think it would have mattered. If he'd have killed her or the Sagittari would have killed her, it would have stopped transmission, but he had already had the information because we'd seen him say Krypton will be collected before that.
Yeah. So she had already gotten enough information out to give Brainiac all that he needed to know. So
yeah, so he's like, all right, I got another one. Woohoo.
Yep.
No.
Here I come.
So this is obviously not something that's going to play out over several seasons.
It doesn't look that way, does it?
No. I'm like, well, it can. I mean.
Yeah, it could.
It seems like it's not going that route. So
at least not right now.
So
it seems like we're going to have Brainiac make an appearance on Krypton before the end of the season.
I would think so. So this should be interesting what happens. I mean, what do you guys think? And for those of you who are familiar, if I can talk, with Brainiac, and I know this is a specific version of Brainiac they were using, is this how the comic book run went?
Right.
Because I don't know, and I don't either. I'm like, I don't think you're too familiar with it, right?
Nope.
So let us know. Shoot us an email at syfytalk@fangirlzone.com or a direct message on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever. Wherever you're finding us, you can leave messages on even our webpage at www.fangirlzone.com. Like underneath the actual podcast when it's up there. You can tell us exactly what we're missing, and that way other people would know too.
Absolutely.
Because we need people who are in the know, because I am a little confused, unless they're kind of just taking the little bits and extrapolating.
Right.
But while you're doing all that fun stuff, why don't you rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you're finding us on? Because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends. Get your friends to watch this, because this was a lot different than I was thinking it was going, and I'm like really enjoying it. Not being a huge comic book person. I do read comics, but I haven't read like a ton of them, so I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'm really liking the way this is going, and I'm sure a lot of your friends are going to like it, especially if they're into this kind of thing. I mean, who's not into superheroes?
That's right, especially Superman.
Right, even though it's Superman's granddad, but whatever. All right, so for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, we're talking Krypton. I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. You do realize I'm a hologram, don't you?
And until next time.